Welcome to No Tea O'Shea with your host,
Chris?
I'm Randy.
and I'm Christopher Dior. We have a special guest sitting in for Corey today who's out at a fashion show, Mr. Taylor Knight. Welcome, Taylor.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here today.
Yay, we're looking forward to interacting with you tonight, girl. Alrighty, so let's get into our first topic. We're going to do a coming out topic today. We're just basically going to run through our lives and let you know a little bit about our history. Chris?
Well, I came out when I was 19 years old. I grew up in South Carolina at that time. So it was years ago. Not going to say that it was easy, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Very accepting people around me that I was surprised at. And since then, it's actually been pretty good.
And for you, Taylor, being that you're the new person to be introduced to the group.
Well, coming out in my family was kind of hard. I came out in my 11th grade year of high school. It was a tough time because my parents really aren't understanding of the gay community and the gay lives that children are living today, and not understanding that it's not a choice to become gay. It's really something that you're born with. It was hard for me because my family's very religious. Growing up Southern Baptist, it was hard for me to actually show who I really was. But as time grew on, as I moved off to Orlando, it got better. Like my dad started to talk to me more, my mom started to talk to me more. They invited me back into the family, so I'm kind of excited to see how they react whenever I come back home.
Well, every family is different, and being black, you know how it's harder for us anyway. For me, it was a little bit easy. My coming out story was I was in college. My mother came to pick me up from my freshman dorm for the summer, and she noticed there was a young man in the room with me. So she asked me, point blank period, so are you guys fucking? I said, wow, really, mother? And I left it like that. The whole way home, we're driving back to St. Petersburg. She said nothing, I said nothing. We listened to our normal music. When we got to the house, my grandma had a dinner for everyone there, and she said at the table, hey guys, just to let you know, Chris and the boy that he was in his room with are fucking. And I was like, okay. But the only thing that surprised me was my grandfather. He said, okay, we already knew he was gay since he was a little boy. Pass the gravy. And that was my coming out story. Now, Brandy, being a mother, what would you have to say, or what advice would you give to any one of your children that decided to come out?
Well, I have 3 girls, and honestly, like what Taylor said, I do believe that the choice to be gay, that being gay is not a choice. It's something that's within, and if one of my daughters decided that, or told me, one, I would feel comfortable and feel really good that they were able to talk to me about it. And 2, I'm a non-judgmental person, and I believe that at the end of the day, you know, we can't judge someone for their life. As a parent, you teach your children the way that they should go, and then them as adults, or you know, when they come into their own being of themselves as individuals, they have to make the choice and decisions in their own life. So I would be a very supportive parent, because I would never want to risk not having a relationship with my child that I created because of something that they actually don't have any control over. Very religious, very spiritual family, you know, born and raised in the church as well, you know, but, you know, even with all the sins, you know, in the world, we're not supposed to be judgmental. So I would be very accepting either way.
And that is true, because even though we may look like we're sinning, in the Bible it says, he who has not sinned shall cast the first stone. So anyone that has anything to say against that next person is casting a stone. And in foreign countries, when you cast a stone, you become deceased. But we can see that with you, Brandon, because you mother Taylor all the time. You even mother us sometimes. You say, get it together, pull yourself back. That is inappropriate. That's not how you're supposed to do it. So we totally understand that.
Well, for me, I've been surrounded, I have a lot of gay friends, and that's males and females. So, I mean, they could look at me and be judgmental of me for being straight, but they don't because it's accepted, but I mean, it is what it is. And yes, Taylor is like a son to me. He actually can be my son.
That's true.
But I mean, we all need guidance, sometimes.
Guidance, love, and truth. That is the main thing that we're trying to get out with this coming out story. We all have different phases of life. We all are going through different things in life. Ages may be different. History and color is going to be totally different from this group. But one thing is true. Coming out is coming out, and love is love. Now, Miss Grant, what are we discussing next, man?
Let's talk about something that's been a little controversial, but not too much. Let's talk about dating etiquette. All right. So first part of it, when you go out on a date, who pays?
Well, that's kind of weird, being two guys. But I would say, if you taking me to McDonald's, Burger King, Chili's, somewhere like that, your ass is paying. You want to know why? Because I'm going to get the dessert, I'm going to get my drink, I'm going to have my regular drink, my full course meal, because you're not finna be cheap. Now, that's how I feel. But like, if we go into a fancy restaurant or just a little general cheesecake factory, I may pay for myself because you might not want to pay that $3 for that Pellegrino I'm going to drink.
I come to, I think if you invited the person, you should pay to take them out. That's the way that I work. And and it doesn't matter where we go. If I invited you to go out, I'm paying for you. If you invite me, I believe you should pay for it.
But that's even if you're not having sex?
Of course.
So see, okay, that takes it to a whole different level. Like,
Hey, I'm just
And then
asking.
from then on, we split everything.
Okay, because I'm just asking.
So-
You
That's an
pay and I'll
etiquette
pay, or we can split it together, but
I'm gonna have
in the
to,
beginning, and whoever invites whoever out is the one who pays for it.
I'm gonna have to agree with Chris and kind of disagree with Chris right here, because if somebody invites me to go out to a nice place, I expect them to pay. But if we go to somewhere like Taco Bell, McDonald's, something fast food, no, I'll pay for myself. I got that.
But that's your expectation.
That-
Because I've always been taught by my grandmother, you always have that backup 20 because you never know when they want to be
You're
shot.
right, you're right.
So I don't know about that one.
I mean, I think, well, definitely in the male-female relationships, normally, it's kind of expected for the guy to pay. But we in 2016, and like those expectations are like out the window now. And I've seen a lot recently where, women are saying, well, I pay for dates and this, that, and the other. And I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I mean, I just think that if I'm asked out on a date, then he should pay. And I mean, rewards come
But just don't take advantage of it, right?
in other ways.
Don't take it to, oh, you want to go out and then you go to some expensive fancy restaurant, for the first time.
It depends. If he gives me my choice of my restaurant, then hey. if not, then
So you
he'll
feel like you
say,
should just go straight to the top, or be like, oh well.
Hey!
Hey, I
If
know
they
what I'm
say,
sitting on.
what you want to eat tonight? And you say a steak. And then they say, okay, that's fine. They didn't say you can't go to Ruth Chris versus Longhorn. They didn't give you a specific fillet.
Absolutely.
You can get a cheap steak at Ruth Chris for under $30. They didn't tell you where you need to go. They said,
It
what
didn't
do you
give
want to
budget.
eat?
Right.
No budget.
True.
So
So-
you're giving me that choice. So
So how would you feel if the check came and you said for 2 tickets, not 1? Would there be another date, or would that just be it?
I honestly think it depends. I think it depends because if we vibing and I'm feeling you like that and I feel like there's potential in that person or that I can see wanting to go on a second date, then yeah, I wouldn't say, okay, you know what, he just cheap, I'm not doing this again. So it really
Right.
depends. Now if I get like no vibes, no connection, no nothing, nah, lose my number.
It's all right if they say split it in a separate check. That means they frugal and they can't afford me. As one of our other co-members would say, Mr. Corey there, he would say, if you can't afford me, don't date me, boo. So I understand that. If you want to be frugal, but let me know up front. Don't
Yeah,
get me
first.
with my feelings and then you say, oh, by the way, I only got $40. Well, you should have told me because we could have cooked at the house for $40.
Right.
Hey, it's cheaper that way.
Yes.
You don't got to worry about clothes, gas, where you going to park, who doing what. If the waiter's going to bring you all the accoutrement that you need at the table, why waste your time? $40, we can have a good steak meal from Walmart.
Yes. And a bottle of wine. If you could have won too.
Yes, you always got to top it off with wine. But Mr. Taylor, so coming back to you, we have talked about dating etiquette. We have talked about the coming out story. But tell us in your own words, what does it mean to be gay in 2016?
Well, being gay in my case, I've been through a lot. So my case is, I'm looking for somebody that would treat me well, not just use me for sex, nothing like that. I'm looking for somebody that I can settle down with and build a relationship with, somebody that I can have for long term. I know I'm young and probably people think I'm immature for that, but no, I'm really ready for a relationship. I'm tired of the grinder, stuff like that, the jack and all of that. I'm ready to settle down.
All right, Chris.
Being who I want to be in 2016, like I said, I grew up in South Carolina. Years ago, it wasn't very accepting to be gay. You did not see a gay rainbow on the back of a car. It was, something that was very rare, and they were probably coming from another town and driving through. So me being able to just be me and be free and accepted.
And Miss Brandy, how would you feel in the 2016 era? How would you look at us as a gay culture, industry, a society?
I just, again, people just need to be who they are. It's more comfortable for me to be around a person if they are comfortable with themselves. If you have to continue to hide in the shadows or, just not be you, it makes me uncomfortable. So I think the fact that people are becoming more accepting, makes it easier for people to come out and to actually be who they know that they are and who they want to be. So it makes me feel better and more comfortable being around.
So as a mother, would you say that in this generation versus your generation, we have it easier or harder?
I think this generation, it's easier to come out. It's more socially accepted now than it was before. So as far as having it easier, I don't think it's ever going to be easy. So, because people are always going to judge you for your personal choice.
Well, for me, 2016, being gay, that means knowing who you are, owning what you do, or who you do, or when you do it. And not giving a bleep about who says what, when, where, and how you do it. 2016 is the year of understanding, love, and being who the hell you are. On that note, thank you, Taylor, for joining us on this episode.
Thank you for
We
having
love
me.
you, and we'll gladly invite you back at any time.
Please do.
And on that note, if it's not tea, then it's shade.
For the youth of the LGBT community that does not have a place to go, the Zebra Coalition and the Orlando Youth Alliance has 24-hour hotlines for ages 13 to 24. If you need more information, please refer to the next one.